After I had played around with the levels and made sure that it was cut out properly, I then decided on what I was going to do as my background and the theme that I was going to follow. I decided to do a zombie themed apocalypse style movie poster, so I began by googling dystopian roads to see if I could find any roads that fit. Luckily, the first picture I found I thought was perfect for what I wanted to do and how I wanted to position Becca onto the poster. So for this I viewed image and then saved it. I then opened it up in Photoshop, selected the whole poster, went on to File and pasted my background onto my document with Becca already on there. I then pressed Command T and began to transform my image so that it fit the background the right way. I just stretched out both sides until it fit perfectly and then centered the road so that it was centered on the background document. I then pressed enter. I then pressed my select tool and realised that I hadn't clicked Becca. So I clicked Becca and then I moved her down to see what it looked like. However, I didn't think the perspective was right, so I pressed transform, control transform again, command transform again, and moved her closer to the front so that she looked bigger. I also just tested out what side of the road I wanted her to be in and if I wanted it to be a lot closer, in which I did. So for this I then pressed enter so that layer set. I then clicked on Becca's layer again and moved her forward as if she was standing right at the front of the camera at the front of the road. I tried to transform her and see if I could possibly cover the people, though I decided that I couldn't, and they were a problem because it was meant to be a zombie filled land, so she would not be just standing there if there was other people there. So I went on. So I thought I'd come back to this problem later and think about how I was going to cover them, but for now I was going to go and focus on Becca and her colour and contrast levels so that she matched the background. I went on colour and contrast, however this did not work, so then I went on exposure and changed her exposure levels, which then set her to a level which matched the rest of the poster. I then pressed OK. So I came up with the idea of covering the people in the photo with zombies so that it looked like the zombies were coming after her. So what I needed to do now was go online and find images of zombies that I would be able to use to cover the people. So I went through multiple different images, however these all were on the floor and wouldn't be very relatable and would not make sense, so I typed in PNG instead and then graphic zombies came up. However, these were still going to be a good option for me to use. I then found the zombie that I wanted and put him into the document as well. I then used the magic wand tool to select around him so that I could put him into the document with Becca. I then pressed copy and paste into the when I had gone onto the document with Becca in. I then realised that he was not there, so I needed to move the layers around so that I would be able to see him properly. And then I realised I hadn't pressed select inverse, so I went back onto the document, pressed select inverse, copy, and then pasted him onto my Becca document, and he came up